Yeah, now in part 2 of the accessory fit to the 2024 model Suzuki 250SX. Now what I was going to mention to you first off is that a couple of things on clip 1 where I fitted these rails. First one is the tanks don't want to flip up, and not much you can do about that because I tried it on both sides and it makes no difference. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Number 2 would be, if you look at the key here to get into the boot, it's a really tight fit to put the key in. Can be done, no trouble, but just sort of make you a little bit aware. Like I said, this is part 2. I got a fuel container carrier, or the bracket, to fit one. So this is the main reason I went for this one. So when I was looking at railings for carrying luggage on this one, this mob here, there's a few of them that come out anything from price from 180 up to about 240, I think, and I paid about 220 for these. Now the thing that interests me the most with this one, when I looked at several of them on, and they're all on eBay, I was interested in this one here because it had the 4 holes here in this carrier, where the other ones haven't got that one. Now the reason I was interested in that, because I remember the old days when I had the Honda CT125 trails, that you needed something like that built in to cart the fuel container I bought. I remember in those days, back in early 2020, 2021, that they used to rip me off with accessories on the CT125 trail, and I think to buy the fuel container, the bracket and stuff like that, it worked out then about $300 for a 5 litre container. But the best thing about this one here, for the money, it's already got it built in, and that was the idea of it. And to give you an idea, here's a bracket which arrived today. So and the really bad thing about this design is, see these crappy little U-shackles? Once you try to fit them up there, they'd be a really sloppy fit and not worth doing. Now, when I did the first one, I did fit them that way going back on the CT125 trail, but later on somebody said to me, why don't you just go over and buy a few bolts at the local hardware store and put them in that way. So today I headed up over there, and these only cost me, I think it was $1.20 for the lot there, and more importantly they'll sit in there a lot neater. It'll be on nice tight fit and no trouble whatsoever once I get to that stage. Okay, let's get into it, fit it, and see how it looks. Yeah, I think this will be really a nice add-on addition to the Suzuki itself, so can't really complain there, I don't think. Best thing about it, the holes line up perfectly, so no issues there either. So compared to buying a set of saddlebag mounts and then find out that you can't fit anything to them, this is an option where you can fit them if you want to, like your fuel tank, and if not, you can just pull the tank off, go for your ride. It'll only be riding like it is there now with the knob on it, and that will give you a little bit of peace of mind there if you're going any distance and you think you'll need a fuel container with you on that run. And I may need a fuel tank or a spare container on one of those runs, not sure yet, but it depends on how far I go and how hungry the bike is on gas when I get in there, so time will tell there. So we'll get up to the tightening of it now. These are lock nuts too, so those nylon type ones, so once you put them on there, they're well and truly. Plan on clocking up a few kilometres on these runs too, so I think all this stuff I'm putting on will certainly come in handy. And you hang around and watch the run when they start off. I think it should be really good. Should be a bit of exciting times ahead, I think. They're all tight now, just give them a final tweak. Always hang on to this spanner right by the head of it so that you're not applying too much pressure to it and snap it. And being those nylock nuts on it, they can handle it really well. I'm to the stage where I'm about to bit the fuel cell, and this is what happens. So we rip her on now, and this is a 3 litre one, and the 3 litre one's good enough for me because this bike could be capable of doing 100 kilometres on the 3 litre tank, and you know, it wouldn't be worth my trouble to go out and spend $45 or something just to buy a new container when I've got plenty of spares there. So that's the reason why I'd probably be using the 3. So all's good's going there, and I get me twist lock here to put on it, in like so. Try to turn it, nothing happens. It appears something's gone wrong and the rod with this one is too short, but I don't think that's the case. I think that's the standard length of rod, because afterwards I ripped this up and thought to myself, what could be the main problem here? Mounting point here on this plate is in the inside, and you can see there now it's probably 15 or 20 mil short, something like that, and that's the problem. This should be brought out flush like so. Now the only thing I can do to it like this one would be to, I don't know, make something out of 3 or 5 ply and try to extend it out a little bit more, so this pushes out and further into this recess plate here. So I think at the moment it's just coming like partly into it and not going all the way. So the only way I think I can get out of this is make a I don't know, bit of a plate there for it, put into it, and I'd almost bet, looking at the bolts at the back of these bolts I've got, they'll be too short too. So I don't know, I still won't be able to do a temporary run where I can just do zip ties and just hold it in place, because tomorrow, it's too late to go anywhere today, but tomorrow is Good Friday, so there's no places open on Good Friday to get anything done. So Saturday there may be. So yeah, I might be able to rig this up just so it temporarily looks alright, and then we can have a bit of a look and see what you reckon. Brought out my jigsaw, had a bit of scrap plywood here. I think it's roughly about maybe a 5 ply, I think. So I just nailed it to the old railing here, and because after all I'm replacing this railing, so it doesn't matter much, and cut out a circle there and then drilled 4 holes into it. So it's not perfect at the moment. I'll get a file onto it now and smooth it out a little bit better. Then I might spray it matte black, or now the black I've got there, put it on the plate over there to see how it goes, if it brings it out to the correct width. Yeah, I think that's a bit of an improvement. Now hit it with a bit of paint. Here's what we're up to, looking from the inside of the rail out. So if you look in there now, you'll see that I've got 2 tie clips in there to hold this plate in. Naturally, because the bolts I had there, I don't know, probably about 5 or 10 millimeters too short. So not much I can do about that till the weekend, but the main thing is I thought I'd get this out of the way. We'll go to the front now. Here's another look front on. So there's the plate I put in there, that's around 5 ply I think, or something to that effect. It's nice and tight, even, or pretty tight anyway, until it's not as if I'm going to get out there riding it around, but this is just a demo. So as far as that goes, when I get the 4 bolts, I'd rather bolt it in and keep it there on those tie clips, that's for sure. So remember before it wouldn't go on at all, so this time we got it sitting here like so. Just get the clip here. Now the last time it wouldn't go in, so give her a bit of a crank. Might be able to get one more. Yeah, so the main attraction for this carrier here, see this hole here? The best thing about that one, this one comes with a lock. So you can just put it in straight away. It's locked. No one can come along and rip off your tank. So, you know, you might say, oh, well, they're not worried about 3 litres. They're probably worth, if you've got a 5 litre one here, $45, $50, whatever the case is, wherever you buy them from. So then if you want to get rid of it, you just pull her out like that, and it'll come back out, and it's got a bit of resistance on this part here, but to get back in, even without the key, I think you can put it in there. It's only you need the key if you want to remove it totally. So I reckon that's a good idea as far as the locking in that system there. I mean, it's not going to stop them from contaminating your gas or anything like that, so you can't have it every way, but the fact is, with a lock on it like so, you know, for $26 on eBay for this system here, I think it's worth it, because I think if anyone's got to knock anything up, it'll probably try one of these fuel tanks, because fuel tanks are always popular. So that's about all I can tell you on this. Now I'll give you a little bit further back view of it, and we'll go from there.